Hi crafty friends, this is card number 27 in Full Deck Challenge 3. As per usual, I have my constant, which for me is a postage stamp. And I've picked one with colors that suit the papers I'm going to use today. I had these scraps lying around, I loved the colors and thought I would work with those for this card. And for the numbers, which is the prompt for this week, I have these dies, which are numbers, the 2 and the 7. We'll work with those later. And for my carryover item from last week, I'm going to use that Hessian thread. Let's get started with the card. Remembering our overall theme of the mini collage that we're still practicing, I'm going to use my beautiful colored papers to create that in the background. The prompt for next week is the color black. I know I sound like a broken record in every video, but for those who haven't seen these before, let me tell you that it is never too late to join in the Full Deck Challenge. This is deck 3, but we also have deck 1 and deck 2, and you can start on any deck and with any card. I have all the playlists linked in the description box below. And if you're on Facebook, you can join my group there. Just search Full Deck Challenge Group. I think I have enough pieces for now. I'm going to start sticking them down. I'm going to use Mod Podge, but you could also use craft glue or gel medium or even glue stick. I'm also adding a layer of Mod Podge over the pieces because I never know what I'm actually doing. So at the end, I could decide to add some kind of an ink or a paint. So this Mod Podge over the top does waterproof it and will prevent it from getting soggy and tearing. And also from absorbing too much of the ink or the paint. It creates a good primer. I do love the contrast that these colors create. I've got mainly yellows and creams and like a mustard color, and then I've come in with that bold turquoise, and I'm actually loving this combination. I decided to add my postage stamp as part of my background. I'm happy with that. I'm going to dry it all well and then trim off all the excess. I'm adding a small amount of black splatter at the bottom right to balance out the ace of clubs on the top left. I'm just bringing that black down a little bit. And now for my focal point, I'm going to use my number 27, and I've done the die cutting on a piece of plain black cardstock. And I used the number 27 because this is card 27. I'm going to add a little bit more to my focal point to make it stand out and make it a bit more special. I'm going to put a piece of cheesecloth underneath. And then this is where I'm going to use my carryover item, the Hessian string. I'm going to use it as part of the focal point. I'm looping the Hessian string around my fingers 3 times to create 3 loops of similar size, and then I'm just going to use a staple to hold this in place. I'm going to place my cheesecloth over that and then the number on top of that. I don't need a lot of glue underneath the cheesecloth because it's really fine. The glue that I apply to the numbers will be plenty to keep everything down. I'm using a clear craft glue for this part. To bring it all together, I'm going to do a frame around the card using a black fine liner pen. I'm just going to go along the edge just freehand And although this is a small addition, it makes a big difference. Let me show you a close-up of my card so you can see all the beautiful details. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I really hope you enjoyed it and were inspired to create your own and even join the full deck challenge if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you can be notified every time I upload new content. Thanks again for watching. Happy creating, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.